Seems okay. I'm doing a last minute attempt to like get one more recipe of A2 sword because I completely forgot about farming like an extra copy of A2's Great Sword +5. Whoops. How's everyone doing? Oh, am I actually live yet? Okay, seems to be correct. So the DLC already happened. So pretty much, I think the moment I come out of this battle, we will be able to, check out Dario's stuff. At least it's TMR, and then we can see if we... I think maybe I'll just pull him right away because, Dario is a tank. So for sure he's gonna be useful, right? For sure he's gonna be an impactful character, right? Hey Elion, thanks for stopping by. So to be honest, I was not feeling well earlier today, and I was thinking, maybe I shouldn't do the stream tonight. But I'm feeling much better now, and I thought, you know what? I might as well, since I'm gonna pull for the character anyway. Hey Kokintat, thanks for dropping by, and I saw your comment on my video earlier as well. Thanks for leaving your thoughts in the comments. Hey Manny, thanks for dropping by as usual. Kill LK says, yo, Daiba, good luck in your pulls. JJ Ryu says, Ashen Lucio comes out tomorrow on Global. Can you check if his rate is 0.15% on Dario's banner? Yeah, sure, I can do that. And I'm also kind of wondering if you can pull, Ashen, what's her name? Ashen Lunacestus and Shadow Links from the Dario banner. Because those banners technically expired today. So I guess first things first, we're gonna go take a look at the drop rates and see if we can pick up all of the older Ashen characters on it. I believe the 4-step, the free Viz 4-step doesn't have the pickup rates for the other Ashen characters, if I'm not wrong. So this is the 4-step, the free Viz 4-step banner, and I don't know if you guys can like see here, but basically all of the Ashen characters have like the standard character rates. And let me see if I can find Ketone or Shadow Links, because I'm the most curious about those two. As it turns out, both of them technically have the uses, so might be actually really good to get lucky and grab them during the regular pulling for other characters. Doesn't seem like Shadow Links or Ketone is in the... Oh, there she is. Shadow Links is here. So Shadow Links has the same drop rate as the regular characters, and I think Ketone probably... Or maybe Ketone is not here this time. It could be possible that they didn't want to let people pull on Ketone because it's only been like a week since she came out. I couldn't find Ketone. She is dark, so she should be right around here normally. Dark. Yeah, seems like you will not be able to pull for Ketone. Maybe it's because... Oh, her banner is still here. Okay. So I guess that's why you can't pull for Ketone. But you can get Shadow Links off of Dario's banner. Really weird thing they're doing here. So that was the 4-step, and I believe it's the same for the 5-step paid Viz banner. You don't get increased drop rate on the other Ashen characters, but if you were to come to the regular banner, then that's where you will see that there is a increased pickup rate on all of the previous Ashen characters. And oddly enough, the new Shadow Links Ashen Shadow Lynx is at the same rate as Lucio and Lightning Asterisk. So if you don't buy her and you really want her, you're kind of getting a really bad deal. Since she's not cost 100. Sushi WOTV says, good luck on the pulls, man. Need more reserve units. Yeah, I know, right? FTK, thanks for dropping by. Let's see who else is here. Dozo says, hello and good luck, Odaiba. There is no PD banner on the Dario banner, right? What do you mean PD banner? Oh, you mean like the global, what was it called? The global version banner thing? Yeah, we don't get that in JP. So the only way to PT Dario is through the metal shop. From the mark shop. So you need to get, it's the standard stuff basically. 2,000, where is it? 2,000 medals as usual. So this is the only way to guarantee Lucio. So I definitely hope I can get lucky with him. Let's take a look at the TMR to kick things off. Is there a way to look at the status stuff from here? I don't think so, right? So TMR, disappointing, no agility. Critical, evasion 8, spirit 14, defense 6, 520 HP. And this appears to be, I think it's a piece of armor, right? I'm not too sure what this is. For the TMR skill itself, is a single-use TP26 self-buff that gives him, that gives the user 3 turns of, 3 turns of shell, and on hit. What the hell? This is a silence TMR, you guys. So you use this buff and you get 3 turns of shell, and for the next 3 turns the user, whenever the user lands a hit on the target, that target, it's not even a chance, wait, oh yeah, it's a chance, okay. I thought they didn't put the wording chance there. Okay, so basically 3 turns of shell, and for the next 3 turns, whenever your attack lands, you have a chance of causing 3 turns of silence onto the target. So this is, I think this is on the level, this is very, very similar to Vega's TMR, except, oh wait, actually it is incredibly similar to Vega's TMR, all the way down to a single use. Like you can only use this once. So effectively, this is like the opposite of Vega's TMR, you could say. So yeah, given that the TMR is useful, I'm definitely gonna pull for him for sure. It's like, how many TMRs? This is, I think, the first TMR ever to give you like a silence, what do you call it? A silence effect. And the thing is, if you're using it on a character that dishes out diamond-shaped AoE spells or attacks or whatever, like you can just silence everybody, you potentially have the chance to silence all of the enemies caught in the AoE. So yeah, this TMR is ridiculously good. And of course, we all knew from the description that Dario is probably a tank. So now I'm gonna go and see if the companion unit is up, and then we can try and take a look. I'm pretty sure I'm pulling for him, but if the companion unit is up, then we might as well take a look. Okay, so it looks like he's not up yet. You know what? I think I'm gonna just go ahead and start pulling for him. Like, I mean, at this point, like, it makes no sense to skip him, because not only is the TMR insanely good, but also, you know, Dario being a magic tank and everything. JJ Real says, equip it to... Whoops. Oh, crap. I burned my guild without trading my medals, damn it. Oh well, never mind. JJ Real says, equip it to Ralph. Ralph does silence to magic meta teams. Yeah, that would be pretty insane. And also she gets Shell, which is like, holy cow, that's like the perfect thing she needs. Because I don't think she gets shell from her buff, right? I don't actually remember exactly. Because it's barrier and re-raise and one other thing, right? Lex Reason says he is wearing Rob's armor. Okay, so here's the one thing that is that potentially makes it not that great. The TMR seems to be a piece of armor because, like, I don't know how to tell what category the TMR is. So we gotta take a look at what kind of units can actually wear that. Vision card 100 shots. Useless. I'm not gonna buy this. All I want is the Dario temple ticket. And of course I'm gonna buy this. Oh, we have another week of the ketone shard, so I'm gonna grab that as well. Lex Reason says he's wearing Rob's armor, so he better run armor. LL. Yeah, the thing is, I guess he is an armor unit, but the problem is, if his TMR is also, you know, a piece of armor, then that means that you're potentially quite limited as to who can use that godlike TMR. So that's my main concern with Dario's TMR, not so much the character. See if there are any deals. So I think they recently nerfed the daily purchase, what do you call it? The daily purchase bonus in JP. And good timing that they're doing it right now because I pretty much don't need anything anymore and I don't really want to spend money until they can convince me that the game is worth spending money in. But I'm hoarding a lot of paid vis because of the bonus thing that they reinstated like a couple weeks back. Sorry, give me a moment. I'm kind of adjusting my air conditioning system. I think I better not move the table. It's kind of, I don't know if it's because my temperature is still like pretty high, but it's like really hot in here. Okay, so this is pretty good as well. I think it may come to global this week, hopefully. You get to choose like 80 shots of like any of the non-limited characters that you want for 500 paid vis, and it's a 10 pool, so you might get lucky and get something along the way. So poll strategy, I think I'm gonna do the free vis 4-step completely because of the shards here and the mind spears as well. And then I'm gonna do steps 1 and 3 of this thing because I want the shards here. I gotta be extra careful because not sure if you guys have heard, but apparently recently I accidentally pulled on the wrong banner when I was trying to pull for A2 in global. So I gotta be extra careful this time. Kokinta says, but the TMR is an armor, right? Vega TMR is accessory. Yeah, that was the only concern I have. So I guess in that sense, Vega's TMR is much more usable. Let's just double check if Dario's TMR is indeed a piece of armor. How do I check that actually? Is there a good way? Oh, this one, right? Okay, so it looks like, I think it's pretty much, yeah, it's pretty much a piece of armor. So all of these characters are armor classes if I'm not wrong. Right? Or is it not? Because this is Cloud, FS7 Cloud, Dragoon, and all the, this is Young Erde, this is, what's his name? Lucio, right? So I'm not too sure actually. Are there any cloth-wearing units in this list? I think it's mostly tanks, so I'm gonna assume it's armor. Because Oh, Zombie Jesus says, the symbol on the TMR picture shows you the item type. Oh, okay. So this is 100% armor, right? So, yeah, if it's armor, so here's the problem then. How easy is it to find a character that, you know, can do like a wide range diamond shade AoE and who can actually equip this TMR? That's the real problem here now. Weirdly enough, Cloud Strife can do it. So you could equip this and then run. You could equip this thing on Cloud Strife, and he can run forward and do barrage and try to silence people that way. I think that's really weird. Yeah, I will figure out the best way to use it later on once I have time to go and figure that out. But for now, let's just get the ball rolling. I'm not gonna wait any longer for people who are starting in late, so hopefully everyone who wants to see this is here. Alright, are you guys ready? So I'm not gonna release this as a video this time around because I kind of feel like it's not really worth doing. So I'm just gonna start pulling and then we're gonna, you know, do it non-stop until we get the unit. Alright, on 3, 2, 1. Wait, is this the right banner? I just saw Lightning Asterisk and Lucio on it. So I'm not sure if it's the correct banner. Okay, so this is the correct one. Dario is here. Let's go! Garuken says, best of luck, Odaiba. Thank you so much. Transmission from the space boot says, King Mon seems like an obvious choice for that TMR. See, the thing is, King Mon is not a unit you usually want to be using diamond-shaped TMRs. I mean, diamond-shaped attacks with. Because most of the time with King Mons, all I really want to do is like 1 or 2 bars, and then I want him to run for it and start using his Berserk Limit Burst on the enemy. I don't want to use his, you know, diamond-shaped attacks because it may take up enough AP that he doesn't end up using his Limit Burst. Alright, now for the moment of truth. Could this be it? Holy cow. What? Oh man. Oh man. Oh man, this is awesome. I almost... Sorry. Holy cow. I almost dropped 6,000 paid this for her. I am so glad that she came home. I'm actually more excited to have Shadow Links in my account than Dario right now. Holy cow. Let me just take a screenshot. I'm gonna show this to my JP guildmates later on. 0.15% rate up is huge. Yeah, it is pretty huge. But if you think about it, the thing is, because her rate is the same as the cost 100, right? So it's really quite amazing. So I'm not gonna do the single pool because I like the triple 8 digits at the back here. Maybe it can give me some good luck. But what I'm gonna do is, I think I'll start with the paid this first. I think I'll do you know what, let's start with the free vis first, since I do have quite a bit stacked up. Let's try and do 1 round and see if we get lucky, and then if we don't, then we'll switch to the paid vis for a bit. Alright, here we go. First free vis pull. Oh, could this be the holy... Oh man, I was gonna say this might be the holy grail, like top decking, you know, 2 crystal warriors back to back, but it had to be a vision card. To be fair though, I am actually missing a lot of vision cards, especially all the recently released holo vision cards. So if I can get some of those newly released holo VCs, then, you know, I would be pretty happy as well. Garoken says, time to get Ketone. Yeah, I already have Ketone. I bought Ketone because, as it turns out, if you play strike teams a lot, if you play fist teams a lot, Ketone is actually really, really good. Like, she is comparable. She is almost on the same level as Perrine, which I guess kind of makes sense because she's supposed to be Perrine's student, right? But the other thing also is that Ashen Ketone's TMR gives you agility 8. So there was no way I was gonna miss out on that and, you know, regret later if I somehow need that extra 1 bit of agility to do AGI tuning. Yeah, so my ketone is at above level 99, and then I have about 300 shots. I'm just waiting for the next couple of days to try and, you know, get more shards from the hard quest so that I can save a little bit on the Mog medals. Garoken says, well, I'll buy her then. Yep, she's, I think they will probably bring the exact same deal to Global, because I think it would make sense for them to actually want to sell the unit for 6,000 paid vis. Alright, so this is gonna be the final step for the 4-step free vis banner, and then I think we're going to switch banners right after this and see if we can try and get lucky that way. So the thing about JP is that because they do limit the number of shards you can get for free, either through converting from, you know, your summon medals or from, you know, like other means of acquiring shards, because you're kind of a bit more stingy in JP. I do want to make sure that I maximize my the methods from the banners with which I can get the shards, because if I don't, then I literally have to use some paid vis just to acquire shards, which is something I had to do all the time with all of my JP characters. So I think for that reason, especially, it makes sense to at least go to step 3 and step 4, because that way, at least, worst scenario, for 2,500 paid vis, I do get 40 Dario shards, yeah. Only thing though is that I will be a little bit sad, you know, if I have to go down to step 3 and then the 888 at the back of my paid vis count will, you know, go down to like 388 instead. Sierra asks, is A2 still good in JP? Okay, so here's the thing. We're about to find out if A2 is still good in JP, because some of you guys may not have realized that on last month's Guild Battle map, ice units have 20 AoE resistance up as the map bonus buff. So naturally that means that it was really easy to stack up AoE resistance on A2. Oh, lucky chance. Cost 100, but not the one we're looking for. We got dodge. Anyway, as I was saying, so yeah, A2 last month had, like, you know, a bit of a buff on the map effect, and I think that is the main reason why most people were actually choosing the passive that gave her 12 additional AoE resistance up. The green support passive that gave her that. They chose that over attack or something else. But the thing is, this month, in JP, there is no longer the AoE resistance up for ice units, so we are actually kind of concerned about how A2 will now perform in JP. And of course in Global, beginning tomorrow on the new map, there won't even be the, you know, the A2 buff, the 20 AoE resistance up for ice units. That's not even a thing in the Global version, on the map for the Global version, that is. So it's gonna be a big question, gonna be a big if A2 is still as good as before. Now the thing is, I've said it before, I think on a previous broadcast or a previous live stream or a previous video, I don't actually remember, but I've said before that A2 is a unit that you must reincarnate if you want to use her effectively, because she's all about going down in HP and then slowly healing up, you know, that kind of stuff. So if you don't reincarnate her, she's going to die very easily. Alright, so it looks like we lost the coin flip. We got 2 UR vision card, and they are pretty crap ones. Vision cards that I've already Elder Awakened, so I don't even need them. But I guess it's good that at least I got a little more shards to trade in for the Elder Awakening materials. Kokintat says, what is your thought on new Lucio? So, pretty much my sort of opinion on new Lucio hasn't really changed since day one when I did a live stream a couple of weeks back. Back then, if you guys remember, back then I didn't even know, we didn't even know if Lucio has defense penetration on, his sub-job passive. I suspected he has because he doesn't have one on his main job, He didn't have a defense penetration passive on his main job passive, so I suspected he had, right? But even based on that, I felt that Lucio wasn't very impressive. And now that my Lucio is at level... now that my Lucio is at level 140 and that I've used him extensively in like 2 different light teams, I feel that he is a slight upgrade to the existing light teams, but he's not that fantastic. He's okay, he's good, He makes sense if you play light teams and you want that upgrade because God knows when the next light character is coming. So he's good in that sense, but the problem is that I wish they made him more unfair. He feels a little bit too fair. He feels a little bit okay, so you know what? The best way to describe him is that, so my guild mate, my JP guild leader actually said this to me. You can think of Lucio as being about the same power level as Bartz. Basically, him and Bartz are like, 2 birds, what's the saying? Birds of... You know what? I don't even remember the saying, so I'm not going to embarrass myself. But basically, they are very, very alike. It's just that Bartz is more offensive-oriented, but whereas Lucio is more defensive-oriented. But power level-wise, they're about the same. They're nowhere near the power level of Helena. But the thing is, if you're going to be using Helena for a really long time, and if you're going to be using her in a light team, then Lucio is like Helena's best number 2 option. And the reason for that is because a lot of the things Lucio has perfectly complements Helena. So if you're someone who has a maximum reincarnated Helena, then I think you might want to look at, getting Lucio just so you can keep using Helena in the light team and, doing well that way. The new light team with Lucio and Helena can actually beat a lot of things. It will still lose to certain things. I don't remember what exactly off of my head, but I do remember that it can easily beat the Black Mage teams. It can beat, I don't remember, a few other teams, basically. But from what I tested, given the matchups they can win and the matchups they can lose, I think it's roughly like a tier 2 team still. It's not really the best possible team you can run, and certainly not some... it's not the best possible team you can run, I think. But it's still really good. Now, with that said, in the global version, the new Guild Battle map is going to have, some buffs for the light element. So with those buffs in mind, it may actually propel the new Lucio Helena team all the way up to tier 1. So that could be a possibility as well. Personally, I feel like the fact that Lucio's holy cow, what is this with this 10 pull? Look at this. We have 2 chances to land Dario. Anyway, as I was saying, with the global version, because the map gives you like some stuff, some buff for the light teams. I remember it was the debuff reduction rate. So potentially that means that, Astris, Helena, Veritas of the Wind, and I forgot who else, they won't be able to AoE percentage debuff you as much. Holy cow. Guys, this is like the most chill pull stream ever. Like, I'm not even like 100% focused on pulling the unit because I'm basically, talking to you guys about Lucio and all that stuff, and just as we were doing that, Dario decided to come join in the conversation. So thank you guys so much for that. It was really thanks to everyone here that I was able to get lucky and bring Dario home. Alright, so now we're gonna... Is there any reason to pull for step 4? Now, I don't think I'm gonna spend 2,000 vis to buy the shards. So I think for now I'm gonna hold back and see how much shards I have. Holy cow. That was pretty quick, right? It's like one of the luckier pull streams for sure. Especially compared to A2. A2 I got pretty lucky too because I ended up not having to pity her. I stopped at 1,800 medals. Technically, if you count the missteps, I actually technically did pity A2, but you know what? Who's counting? Who's paying attention? Anyways, let's collect the medals. Let's see how many steps it took. Elion says, nice, congrats. Garukin says, yay, halfway PD. We need to go deep. Yeah, I know. And the thing is, the halfway PD is really huge in JP because you can buy only exactly 100 medals. I mean 100 shards. You can't even get more if you go further than halfway. So this is like the best possible outcome, I think. Fantasized K says you have 1,106 packets of unclaimed mail? What are you talking about? Unclaimed mail? What? What is Fantasized K talking about? Anyway, Garukin says he got A2 for 6.5 keys. Wow, dude. That is some insane luck you got there. That's absolutely crazy. 6.5k for A2? Come on, man. Share me some of your luck. I guess you technically did, which is why I was able to get Dario early. Alright, so without further ado, I guess we should check out if what do you call it? The companion unit is up first or not. So sorry, normally I try to keep my air conditioning in quiet mode so that it's not too loud. But for some reason, like, I'm not sure if it's just me or if my air conditioning is not functioning, but it's really hot in here. I'm gonna have to turn this up. Hope you guys don't mind the noise. If it gets too loud, just let me know later on and I'll try and adjust it a little bit more. Holy cow. Alright, so he's out. So we're gonna take a look directly from the companion unit first, and then we'll go onto his ability board and try and look at whatever else he has on the sub jobs. Elion Strike says, I'm on the verge of quitting. Oh man, why? Because you got unlucky? Come on, I'm sure your luck will turn out sooner or later. How is the audio balance again? I need to check because from my mic, it does definitely sound like from my headphones, it does definitely sound like there's something wrong with my mic and I can't really, hear myself as well as I used to be able to. So I'm weirdly enough, despite tonight being a super lucky pull stream, I'm having all sorts of weird technical issues on my stream. Alright, so first things first, let's check out the sword. 66 HP, so this is the magic version. 66 HP, 3 accuracy, 5 ATK, 169 magic, critical 5. The normal passive on it is just spirit penetration up, SPR penetration up 20. And then for the special stuff, which is available to basically any character with these as their main jobs. Either the this is the Ibarra, I think this is the Ibarra main job, I don't know what it's called. Sword Sorcerer as well will benefit from this sword, and then of course Dario's main job benefits from this sword. The special passes are slash resistance penetration up 20 and single target resistance up 8. So the single target resistance up is huge. This means that ideally you want to put on some brigandine armor, right? Oh wait, he can't do that because he's wearing his TMR. So it's time to find out if Dario has some decent attacks. Garu Ken says JB79 was pulling for Dario, haha, and got links for free. Yeah, I got links for free as well. Holy cow. Maybe there's something wrong with the gacha. Haruki Louis says the game sounds are pretty high. Should I turn it down a little bit, I guess? Because I turned it up a little bit to try and mask the air conditioning noise. Is this better? So the important thing is, as long as you guys can hear me enunciate clearly over the music, so that should be good enough. I think in the future I need to like do a recording prior to streaming to just to test the audio levels. Is it better now? So I missed a bit of the chat because I think I left it scrolling halfway. Let's see here. Alright, so it looks like... So anyway, if you guys had a question that I didn't manage to answer already, just drop it in the chat again. I'll get to it when I see it again. JB79 says, Odaiba, do the paid packs for Lynx and Ketone stay in the later Ashen events? I would think not. I believe the Shadow Lynx paid pack already expired. I know that for a fact because I remember reading it in the notices saying that it's gonna disappear by January 31st, which is today, basically. I'm not too sure if you can still buy the other one. I'm not sure if you can still buy the Ketone one. You'll have to check within the... somebody else will have to check in the JP version because I bought the Ketone one, so I'm not sure if that's the reason why it doesn't show up on my side anymore. I'm guessing the paid packs for the 6,000 paid viz was only available until January 31st, regardless if you wanted Ketone or Shadow Lynx, which meant that you had 1 week to buy... You had 2 weeks to buy Shadow Lynx, but only 1 week to buy Ketone. I think that would make the most sense because it seems like the shop has completely disappeared. There used to be like another shop that had all the Ketone and Shadow Lynx stuff, and it's been replaced by this shop instead, which is the Dario shop. So I think you can't buy them anymore. Oh wait, you can still buy the yeah, you can still buy the Ketone one if you want for 1 more week, but the Shadow Lynx deal is gone. You had to buy it during the past 2 weeks, basically. So they basically give you 2 weeks to buy. Kokintat says, Odaiba out here, buy one free one with Dario and Lynx. Yeah, I know, right? And the thing is, well, you guys will understand this later this month when you play the global story event, but it's literally a buy one free one situation, right? In the another story, what do you call it? In the story cutscene. All right, so what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I was halfway going through the kit for Dario, and I kind of lost track of it. All right, so back to looking at Dario's full kit. Let's see here. So where were we earlier? So earlier we checked out the sword, which is not too shabby. Although the fact that it has Spirit Penetration 20 here makes me a little bit worried. Let's take a look at the passives first. So first, original job passive gives you Spirit and single target resistance, as well as, what is this? Heikuritsu is the... I think this is debuff reduction rate. It's the new type, and it's also the map effect on the global version starting tomorrow. And he gets hate up on the passive, so you like to see that for sure. So I'm gonna guess this is hate up 5. We'll check in the game later on since I have the unit after all. But I'm pretty sure this is hate up +5. So he does start the battle with some hate at least. And then the other passive here is just move +1 and agility up. And I can't tell if this is... Oh yeah, this is from his main job as well. So the other one is move +1 and agility up. Pretty nice. So he's a tank with move 4, which is fantastic. For those of you who have read the notices, you probably already know about this, but his limit burst is pretty interesting. It's a range 3 single target move that that will give Dario slash resistance penetration up before doing MAG based damage L to the target, and it has a chance to cause 3 turns of ATK up on the enemy, as well as 3 turns of Berserk. So basically the Berserk, this version of Berserk will actually make the enemy's ATK go up. I believe it's like one of the things that certain characters have. Anyway, on top of Berserk, it also has 3 turns of critical evasion greatly increased for Dario himself. Not too shabby at all, but at 43 AP, a little bit expensive maybe. Alright, so we are going to take a look next at the reaction ability. This is when he takes damage, there is a chance that he will recover HP by a certain percentage small. So, hang on. Sorry about that. Alright, so I was saying the reaction ability. Pretty much the same as auto kill, I think. Not too sure if it's the same as that, but I think this is like 20 or 30%, right? Anyway, it's good to have on a tank. You definitely want to see that. Now let's take a look at the main thing we're concerned about. Does he have any giant AoE moves? Okay, so he doesn't, which is to be expected, you know, for a tank. Triple drain. First attack here is triple drain. This is the one covered in the notices. It's a sequential move, as you can see here. What is this called? Plus sign AoE attack that will, to all of the enemies in this AoE, do 3 hits of MAG based damage M, and it's a guaranteed hit. On top of that, for the damage that you dealt, absorb a portion of it to recover your HP, and for 1 turn, greatly increase the spirit on Dario. So that's the first part of the move. And then the sequential part is HP recovery percentage small on 1 ally, and also Dario gets hate up. Pretty straightforward. This is definitely the move you probably want to be using all the time once you're up close and personal with Dario's enemies. But before that, so I'm guessing from Raid Mage he probably has jamming thrust or something, because that's the only way I could imagine, you know, that he could use the barrier sealing thing, right? Because one of his kits, one of his important tools is being able to seal away barrier destruction, and I thought, you know, it kind of didn't make sense for him to have that if he doesn't have any kind of long range move, right? So I think we're gonna find that out in just a bit when I take a look at the ability board. For now, let's move on to the second move on his main job. Whole load of attacks here is a self buff, and I'm not sure if this was covered in those, but I'm gonna go through it sequentially. So a lot of things you get with this self buff. First of all, you get, what is this called? Magic HP, basically a magic barrier that protects a certain amount of damage by HP. So either 7,500 or 10,000, and then for 3 turns he also gets the wider the AoE range, the more damage reduction he gets. So basically it's like the AoE damage mitigation thing. And on top of that, he also gets 3 turns of whenever he lands a hit, he will be able to seal the enemy's barrier breaking for 3 turns. And on top of that, he also gets 4 turns of... Let's see here. 4 turns of magical aura. So basically 4 turns of an aura skill that reduces magic damage on his allies, as well as increase their poison and sleep and slow resistance up. And this aura is range 4, height 1. But it does not include Dario. So everyone around Dario, except for Dario himself, I think. So Dario doesn't get the magic damage reduction or the increased slow, sleep, and poison resistance, unfortunately. So this is the one that was covered in notices. JJ Ryu says, not having re-raise removal seal is kind of meh. People will pair him with Vivi. Well, let's go through the rest of the kit, and then we can kind of have a better idea of, you know, who will be great to pair him with. So next move here, this is a spear, a piercing move, magical piercer, single target move, range 3, and it does to the enemy MAG base damage L, and it penetrates through the target. So it can potentially hit up to 3 targets, and it will cause them to have 3 turns of Brave down. So this is really weird, because reading it almost kind of sounds like it almost kind of sounds like a low AP move, but this is not low AP at all. And also the damage is not too shabby, it's damage L. And it's a piercing attack. So this is, I don't know what to make of this. Because normally you would probably never use this. Like, why would you even care about the damage here when it's, you know, pierce damage? So this is something I will have to look into to see how people would actually use the skill. Alright, next up, this is also a single target attack. This, I think, is a low AP move. It's range 2. And it does to the target MAG base damage S. And 3 turns of healing ability greatly decreased. So this is pretty good for low AP move. You definitely want to see the healing ability down on the target. Next up, this is another self buff, and this is the re-raise effect. So it will give Dario re-raise and 3 turns of... Okay, so it gives Dario 2 things. It gives Dario re-raise, and it gives Dario a reaction ability for the next 3 turns to whenever he gets attacked by a physical attack, there is a chance to reduce the damage by, you know, by some amount. So basically, the latter part is essentially Sword Guard. So re-raise and Sword Guard for the most part. And then finally, this is, I suppose, his level 120 move. It's a select 2 move, and I think this is covered. Was this covered in notices? Anyway, it's a range 3 single target select 2 move that will remove Protect and Shell first before doing MAG base damage M and decrease the target's AP. So this is really great. I'm really in love with this move. Only thing is, you only have 3 casts of it, so a little bit on the low side, but that's okay. He still has a couple of other moves he can use, so that's perfectly fine. Especially this one here. This one is really good as well. Overall, I have to say he's quite interesting. I'm a little bit disappointed that he doesn't have any evade move, which I guess would make him too powerful, but because it's Katana, I was hoping that he would get some kind of evade thing going on in his main job. But it feels more like he's a magic tank that can do actually quite a bit of damage. Alright, for his sub-jump, his main sub-jump, so this one here is another PS move. And it is a... So I think this is treated as an AoE attack. It's not a single attack. Not a single target attack. But basically, to all the enemies in this range, in this AoE range, it will do 2 hits of MAG base damage M. And it also has a chance to cause 3 turns of disable. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. I'm not sure if you actually use the main sub job for this move though, because MAG base damage M, and furthermore it is a spear move, so the damage wise is not so in autoplay. This move is probably not going to come out unless you stack a lot of what do you call it, spear attack type modifiers, like, you know, through the vision cards and all of that stuff. Most likely this is something you would want to use in manual play, but in autoplay I don't think the AI will, you know, default to this most of the time. And then he also has a pretty interesting buff, a square shaped AoE buff that will give everyone in this area 3 turns of wind, earth and light resistance up. Wind, earth, and light elemental resistance up. So this is potentially something you would use in PvE or manual play, I guess. But for me, I think definitely chances are you want to put Red Mage on him. So I think that's everything on the companion unit. So next up, we'll take a look at his sub-job skills in just a bit. But before that, let's take a look at his status ailments and resistances. So attack type wise, 34%. Wait, you know what? I need to double check if the VCs give him anything first. Just to make sure that we subtract away whatever he has over here. So this is slash resistance 14, strike resistance 9. Okay. And then let me go to an empty slot. You didn't see nothing. I hope nobody noticed what units I had in this slot for a reason. Anyway, I shouldn't be talking about it. So anyway, so back to what we were saying. So this card gives him 14 slash resistance, 9 strike resistance. So we need to minus that away. So by default, he has 20% slash resistance, 20% piercing resistance, and I guess this is 15% strike resistance. So he's weak to missile resistance, minus 5%, and strong against magic, 25%. So this is really good. Wait, his Asper also gives him some stuff, right? Crap. How do we tell what this is? You know what? We'll just check it out later. But let's just say you're gonna use Dark Golem on him anyway. If you use Dark Golem on him, this should be the attack type coverage you get. Minus away 9% on Fist, minus away 14% on Slash. Elemental wise is, I guess, the usual. And then for status ailment 50% resistance to... This is slow, right? I always get confused. I think this is stop and this is slow. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. 50% resistance to slow, 10% resistance to poison, 75% resistance to sleep. I think this is partially affected by Dark Golem, probably. And 25% resistance from confusion. Pretty decent. Is there a way I can just like check like the, you know, the default? Or I guess I can just check on the unit, huh? Anyway, stats wise, looks pretty straightforward. The one thing I'm concerned about is his luck. 182 seems like you might potentially be able to make him a evade tank. I think it's possible, right? 182 luck. I'm not gonna try on JP though, because I decided not to pull for the 2B vision card in the end, because I didn't feel like it makes sense. And that if they wanted you to go evade for Dario, they probably will introduce some kind of evade vision card sometime down the line. Stray Light says, "Hey Odaiba, how's it going? You missed the polls, my man. I had a great roll. You should check out the archive later. Like, you know, the poll session was a huge blast. Thanks to everyone who was here." JB79 says 50% slow, 50% sleep, 10% poison. Thank you for summarizing that. And Fantasized K says, yes, it is slow resistance. So all in all, I'm definitely quite happy with the unit, with the stats. I don't know enough about the basic stats to know if this is good enough to run him evade, but I'm sure somebody is going to try. Alright, so next time we're gonna take a look at his ability board, and the main thing on my mind is whether or not he has jamming thrust. Because if he doesn't have jamming thrust, then how did the developers intend for him to use his barrier seal? I mean his barrier break seal. Right? It doesn't make sense at all. Alright, so Raid Mage, he has Shirley Till, so that's always nice to see. This is guaranteed hit if I'm not wrong. There we go. Range 3 guaranteed hit, so he has at least 2 guaranteed hit attacks that he can default to. Crystal Shelter. So this is the main ability thing, okay. Triple Drain, Ancient Heal. No way. Did they really not give him jamming thrust? Resist break. Okay, so I think this is the level 12 skill, right? Does it say here? So it looks like they didn't give him jamming thrust, and they gave him resist break instead, which is the re-raise removal skill from Red Mage. Range 2. Remove re-raise and 3 turn spirit down first before doing 2 hits of MAG base damage M. Okay, so I'm kind of disappointed because, like, how do they expect Dario to use his barrier break nullify move? Does it make sense? Like ever since I saw the notices, I was like, okay, they gave him barrier break nullify. That means they gave him some kind of long range skill to actually use it, right? Chris Williams asks, no Grimion barrier? It's here. He does in fact have Grimion barrier. Wait. No, wait, he doesn't have it. He has Blue Protect, which is the one that gives you sorry. Oh, not Blue Protect. This is Break Word. Let me try and find it. So yeah, I think he does not seem to have... Yeah, he does not seem to have the Grimoire barrier thing. I was thinking about that as well, because he has magic barrier. He has a magic barrier, a magic HP barrier on his main job. And I was thinking, you know, it would be really cool if he could also put on a physical HP barrier on himself. But then if you think about it, if he could have done that, that would kind of be broken, right? Like, you just do that, and then you just pair him with A2 or something to, you know, have, like, you know, barrier break nullify on, and then nobody can, you know, break the HP barriers on him, and then nobody can attack him. Anyway, from Grimoire Keeper, he does have Blue Protect, which is the thing that gives him Protect, and while he has Protect, he does have defense, debuff, resistance up, as well as a few other things. Blue Protect also is able to reduce the amount of AP on the targets on hit. But yeah, it's basically, it's not too bad. So at least he does have some kind of, you know, additional protection. So he can technically put shell on himself as well as protect, and then of course he has the magic HP barrier. So the only thing he was really lacking is like some kind of physical barrier. Triple drain. What is this? Oh, this is the main job thing. I wish they made it easier to see what kind of sub-job skills he has. He also has Ancient Heal from, I believe, Grimoire Master, which is basically it's an AoE heal for himself and at least one other ally. So this is pretty decent. Oops. Midnight. JB79 says Protect plus minus 20 AP break on hit. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So good to know the exact numbers. So minus 20 AP is actually not that shabby. Like it can actually over time, it can potentially make it so that your enemies can't do like an additional attack on Dario. So I think it helps with survival. Now, as to whether or not he actually has time to use this, that is something we'll have to test. Because for now, we do know that he has two very good self-buffs that you probably want to use on him. The first one was the one that does like everything under the sun. I forgot what it's called. The one that we looked at earlier. The main thing, basically. And then the other thing gives him re-raise and one other thing that I don't remember offhand. But yeah, I think you probably run Raid Mage on him anyway for the resist break to remove re-raise. Unless you want to run Grimoire Keeper for Protect and for Book of Confusion, which is not too bad, although it does have casting time, so maybe not the best move to go for. What do you guys think? Oh, he does have Magic Reflex, so that's pretty nice to see. Although I think you probably want to keep the main counter ability on him from the main job, because that would kind of function like Dialdo's reaction ability, and I'm hoping that will give him like an infinite amount of healing, which sometimes Dialdo gets. Is there anything else I missed? Asuna from Raid Mage. Crystal Shelter. Okay, so this is the one that I was talking about. It's a self-buff that does like everything, right? So you definitely want to use this turn 1. Get the magic HP barrier, and then get the AoE damage mitigation, as well as, giving your allies the magic aura for how many turns? For 4 turns. So that's turn 1. And then turn 2, you either... So if you pick Grimoire Keeper and turn on Blue Protect, then this becomes turn 1. And then Crystal Shelter becomes turn 2. And this sequence might be useful if you want to delay the magic aura by 1 turn, essentially. So this could be sometimes good, but I think most of the time you want to just go turn 1 Crystal Shelter, and then turn 2, what is the other one? The one that gives him re-raise. Let's see here. I can't find it. Oh, is it one of his... There we go. It's one of his basic skills. Yeah, so turn 2, go with re-raise, and then for 3 turns get reaction ability that has a chance to reduce damage from physical sources. To be honest, this move is a little bit weak. I would prefer it to be more stacked. So if you don't need re-raise for some reason, I think you can turn this off. Like if you know that your enemy is going to remove re-raise anyway, right? Then maybe you don't need this, maybe turn 2 you go something else. So I think that's something that we will have quite a bit of fun playing around with to try and see what is the best way to optimize him. So far, what do you guys think? I think at the end of the day, I think it has to come down to his performance, because it depends on how well he can stack all his defensive options. I feel like Dialdo is probably a better tank than Dario is, right off the bat, just because, see, the thing is, Dario is pretty similar to Dialdo in terms of the skills and all that, but it somehow gives me the impression that he has, like, his damage mitigation doesn't seem to be as strong as Dialdo. And the thing with Dialdo is that Dialdo is a specialist at stacking AoE resistance and single target resistance. Dario, I didn't actually check if that's the case for him as well. One thing I forgot to look at is the passive ability, so gonna take a look at it real quick. So these two are the main job ones. So this is the useless one from Red Mage. At the start of battle, AP up and increase magical damage, which you probably will never use on Dario, unless you want to use him as a damage dealer somehow. And then Grimoire Keeper gives him HP up and MAG up, so this is probably not something you want to have. Spirit and magic attack resistance up. Not too bad if you want to stack more SPR, but usually not something you would equip. He does have hide and resist from Grimoire Keeper, the reaction ability. So this is the one that this is the one that gives you a chance to lower hate on Dario and increase AoE resistance greatly for one turn. So doesn't really fit his role unless you want to use him as some kind of damage dealer. Oh, this is pretty nice. So his Spirit Penetration passive move, he does have SPR penetration up, and it comes with defense up as well. So depending on what you want to do, potentially you could, if you don't need the move +1, I think you pretty much take this all the time, right? Just to give Dario more spirit, as well as some, just to give Dario more spirit penetration, as well as defense up. Can't even speak anymore. Anyway, I think, yeah, that is pretty much it for the skill kit itself. I don't think it looks that impressive, but again, with these kinds of things, you really need to, see how the character turns out in actual combat scenario. Now, I wanna check out his, because I didn't take a look at the companion units' ST resistance and AoE resistance. I need to take a look at that real quick. So with no other vision card on, with only the Southerly vision card, which gives you 20 AoE resistance. So it does seem like he can stack quite a bit. 19. Where does he get 19 more from? This is really weird. Master ability gives him AoE resistance +5, and I think, if I'm not wrong, Dark Golem also gives like +5, so that's about 30, and then so I think he can go up to 40 single target resistance and 39 area resistance. Straight Light asks, can he use Maxillian armor? Let's take a look right now. Are there any armor units that cannot use Maxillian armor? Is that even a thing? Yep, he can indeed use Maxillian armor, so no issue with that. Kitty Law says, I think I like Dialdo more, much more versatile. Yeah, I agree with you. Dialdo is a incredibly customizable unit. Like, depending on what I'm facing, I have like a lot of like single adjustments I make. Straylight says, yes, SS Dario plus Wet Glacialer, Water Glacialer plus Water Veritas / Spear unit will be dope. How do you even make that work though? Because I imagine if you do that team, you probably run Summer Glacialer as a damage dealer, right? Like you stack it, you stack all the damage options on her. But I'm not sure how even the weapon class is supposed to work, or the vision class, how is that supposed to work? So yeah, Chris Williams brought up, no Grimoire barrier, so that is definitely a big disappointment. I would have loved to see him stack a bunch of HP barriers on himself. That would have been really fun to see. Straylight is incredibly delighted that he can wear maximum armor. So it's only been, what, about an hour since I started the stream, but right about now, I guess it's a probably a good time to check if someone in my guild is like on their way to finishing Dario, because maybe they're like super fast at building him, if they're pulling him at all. So the thing is, we kind of before he came out, I was having a discussion with a couple of JP guildmates about whether or not Dario will be good enough. And the thing is, even if they make Dario really really good. Sorry about that. Even if they make Dario really good, the problem is wind element. The wind team right now kinda is not at a great place. Doesn't seem like wind teams will be very popular. So actually we were thinking if we were to run Dario, right, we probably don't put him together with the other wind units, right? Would you guys put him with a wind team? Or would you guys put him with something like this? Let me see if I can show you guys this thing. We can't mark against this build yet, but just to show like a proof of concept, I guess. This was what we were thinking of when we had the discussion. So you guys ready? Okay. This was what we were thinking of running, actually, because because the vision cards work so well, right? Is there anything? So I think the only thing we don't have is single target resistance, and maybe you don't even need single target resistance up on the vision card for this team. Maybe you can just run this and it can do just really well on its own. Gonna take a look at oops, I guess I can show you guys this here. So this is without the main slot ST resistance card. He's only able to get 20 single target resistance. So that's definitely not something you want to see for sure, but I feel like it could still probably be pretty good. So anyway, that's I guess this is more of a fun build. We really need to experiment with it to see if it's actually functional. But this is not the build that I can mock against right now. The one that I can mock against is a pure win team. So I guess we have some time to throw a few teams up against the win team, and the win team looks something like this. Just give me a moment as I load this up. Team builds. Okay, so this is what is currently being tested by my guildmate. Pretty much just your standard, wind spear units with Dario all stacked up, running almost everything here is a wind vision card, right? Except for Ultros, except for our boy Ultros over here, and of course the Ramza VC, which is fine because you don't need the physical stuff on Dario anyway. So Dario really just needs the the agility, the single target resistance, and AoE resistance. And then, yeah, Alright, so I'm not sure if this is optimized, but we're gonna just use the team I have here and, you know, just test things out, I guess. Okay, here we go. So I'm not even sure if my team is properly tuned for this map because I haven't even seen the map before. So if the movements turn out to be complete nonsense, please forgive me for that. Haven't had time to make any tweaks to the team. My goodness, I think maybe my air conditioning is broken. There's like no wind coming out of this crap. Sushi WOTV says, none of these win teams have a spot for Zidane. Yeah, I know. Zidane is the master of the dagger team. One day he will be relevant. I hope. Straight Light says, oh, this will be interesting. Elion Strife asks, is his Brave / Mastery still 50 in this opponent team? Yeah, you're right. We should definitely check it out. I remember the last time we did this, the unit that we were testing definitely wasn't at Brave 97. So we definitely need to make sure to check that out. Otherwise, it will not really be any kind of fair demonstration, huh? Elion Strife says, that does look like a nice team. Hopefully it'll be really good because this is pretty much Win Team's final hope. If this doesn't work out, like, you know, what else can they give the win element? Right? I mean, A2 is already so popular, and I'm pretty sure the Ashen King is going to be Ice element. Like, for some reason, I can feel in my gut that he's going to be the Ice element Ashen Warrior. So, okay, so my movement is complete garbage. I probably need to flip. My team around. Looks like my guildmates' movements are not exactly tuned either. Like, the tank is not really moving forward fast enough. Oh, not enough accuracy. So I could, so I was noticing how Helena barely did any damage to Dario and to Glassela as well. Okay, so Veritas of the Wind is pretty much doing all the heavy duty work over here. And then it comes in for the heal. And Wind is still at full health for everyone. By the way, like I said, there are two very popular light teams in the meta right now, and unfortunately, one of them I'm kind of keeping it. I don't really want to show it, so I can only show you this other one here, the one with Starlight Anima, because I kind of have like a few adjustments I don't really want to show because I might want to use it for global. So sorry about that. We will flip this light team around so that you know, the units are not out of position. I think if we change it, if we just flip the units 180, the movement should be much better. So just give me a moment as I go ahead and do that. Grimoire Master. There's no courage on the win team, right? Yeah, I don't think so. Alright, let's try this one more time, and then if this still doesn't work out for my light team, then we'll try some other team against the Dario team. Are there any requests on what you guys would like to see go up against the Dario team? I'm taking some requests now, I guess. Wait, let me see if there's more. Oh wait, there's more than one win team I can mock against right now, it seems like. Let me just double check that. Yep, more than one team. So we're gonna mock against a different team, a different win team. I guess I should show you the sample build first so that we understand what we're looking at. Or actually, before that, we need to check. We need to check if their Brave is at 50 or if it's higher than that now. So first things first, this is the build. Brave 92 should be pretty decent. This is Dario, by the way. I know you guys can't see it, but trust me, that's Dario. And then, like I said, we do have another team we can test against, and that would be this team right here, which I'm about to show you the build right about now. So this one has holo VCs, and the vision cards are quite a bit different, right? Yeah. What does this do? AoE resistance. But this doesn't cover Dario, so I'm not sure what it's doing here. Alright, in any case, this team over here also has... Well, since this one has maxed out Bravery and Faith, I think this is going to be the one we challenge. So just give me one moment as I set this up. There we go. And off we go to the races. So yeah, I'm currently taking requests on what teams you guys would like to see go up against the win team. If I have it made as a template somewhere on my account, I will try and use that so that we can see how it performs against Dario win. But keep in mind that you know, my account is kind of a mess, you know, in terms of templates because I don't store them properly. So I may not have what you guys might want to see. Elion's Drive goes... Elion's Drive is like, oh, damn. He's speed building that Brave / Faith. I think technically you can do it in like 10 minutes, right? If you use Kill Faye and Rob. I think that takes about 10-15 minutes. Cockintat says, Earth to see how fast or well they kill them. Okay, sure, that's fine. As long as I don't show you guys my Earth build. Because I feel like... So I play Earth a lot, right? In both JP and Global. And then, you know, not too long ago, there was that Guild Battle Records bug where you could see everyone's attack and everyone's offense and defense teams. So I kind of took a look at some of the Earth evade teams that other people were using, and I kind of feel like I really like the version I have. So as long as I don't have to show that to you guys, that's fine. I'll take the Earth team and throw it against Dario win. Anyway, it seems like despite my best efforts, it looks like my light team's movements is not too great. I guess I needed to adjust it further. But you know what? No point crying over spoiled meal. We'll move on. As mentioned earlier, we'll move on to some different team. Specifically Earth team. And that should be way, way, way easier for me to set things up. I can already imagine the movements for Earth team now. So Lucio is actually doing pretty well here. The only thing is, despite all of the damage mitigation has despite all of the damage mitigation Lucio has on himself, he's still, as you can see here, he's still taking a lot of damage. And I'm gonna guess that Helena is being focused here because she's standing right next to Starlight Helena. That's the only reason you're getting targeted instead of Lucio here. But it's still a, you know, it's still a bit of a landslide victory for the Win team over here. Manny says, can you try your Earth Evade against a Summer Glassy plus A2 team? Summer Glassy plus A2 team. So the thing is, my Earth Evade is only available in Global because in JP I did not actually pull for Halloween Lucio. Not because I didn't know that Halloween Lucio was good, but if I pulled for Halloween Lucio, I wouldn't have enough Vis to pull for Vivi. So unfortunately, I can't really show you a good demonstration on Earth Evade in JP unless you count having 2P as some kind of evade team. It's not an evade team, so I can't really say that it is. Give me one moment as I look for that team. Now the only so basically in my Earth team, the only evade unit is 2P, so she's not gonna be that good, unfortunately, against very accurate units. So I think she will definitely get hit against especially Win team. But the big question is, so the thing with 2P is that it actually doesn't really matter if she gets hit. Because 2P's job is really just to debuff the enemies and then, you know, let everyone just kind of pile up on the enemies and kill them before they can do anything. So it really doesn't matter at all if 2P gets hit. Let's see here. So we're gonna go against the fully built Bravery Faith 97 Dario using my Earth team. So as you can probably tell with this build, my Earth team, the only luck card I'm running is Ketone's vision card. And also, what is that? The free Near Automata Raid vision card. I do run that in the sub slot for 2P because it does give you, I think, like 5 or 10 more evasion. Stray Light says, LOL, Dario is made to kill caster meta. Yeah. But the really cool thing is you're, you know, ideally, I guess you're pairing him with Veritas of the Wind and Glassala, right? And normally, so the thing is, Wind, normally without Dario, is already capable of killing the caster meta. The only problem is that Veritas of the Wind team usually have a pretty hard time versus Lightning. So the question to ask over here is, how does Dario protect the entire Wind team from, you know, Lightning team? So I guess we could try that out. I do have a physical Lightning team built that we can quickly take and throw at this Dario Wind team just to see how it performs. Chris Williams says 19k HP with 1 HP vision card. I think he may be fully reincarnated, I'm not sure. Without asking him, I'm not entirely sure. But I guess we can compare the two available Darios and kind of see if that's the case. 19k is pretty insane. Of course, you have to realize part of it has to do with the mastery abilities. It's not purely the vision card. Sometimes it's also the master ability. Alright. So I don't think Earth Team has any chance at all, right? I don't know why you guys like to watch these really one-sided matches where I'm using a team that we all know pretty well. There's no way the Earth Team stands a chance. So I guess the only thing was if this was Earth Evade, then I think if it was Halloween Lucio, we may actually stand a chance, provided that Glaceola doesn't get any further additional buff. Alright, so I'm gonna switch to Lightning now. I'm gonna switch over to Lightning, and I do want to see how it performs against a traditional BLM team. So I think, you know what, let's take a look at that first. So for the BLM build, I don't mind showing you guys that because it's pretty much a oops, let me change this here. Pretty much a pretty common build, I think. So I think that's okay. You know what? To be on the safe side, because I may actually want to use it on global. So let's just keep it here, and I need to make some adjustments. I remember. So let me take a moment and think about this. 1, 2, 1, 5. Okay, so this is not the exact team I had. Dress. You know what? I'm gonna copy a different team over. So especially for the Nier Automata Guild Battle map, you can do a lot of customization with the Black Mage team, and they do lead to various kinds of results. So that's a bit of a tricky issue over here. Now I do want my tank to be on the right hand side. So I think I will so I think I can give 1, 2. Okay, I think this is good enough. We'll make adjustments later on if needed. But basically, I just want to see how the Black Mage team does against Dario. Because if Dario happens to, I don't think Dario will take much damage if at all. Dario, there we go. And because of how good Dario is against magic, I think this month I may end up just playing a lot of Wind on offense just because of Dario. Like, I'm seriously drawing a blank as to like what would be you know, really good against the Dario and Glaceola team. I guess I should try the A2 teams against Dario, because if the A2 Howlet team somehow loses to the Wind team, then, you know, then we'll know we have a winner on our hands, don't we? Okay, let's see. Sushi WOTV says, how about Helena, Bart, Lucio? See, that's the one team I didn't want to show, because I have some customizations for it, and you know, it's not a let's just say the adjustments I use are not very common, and I could go and make the common type, but if I do that, then that interferes with my custom adjustments, and I didn't write them down anywhere, so I might actually forget what I actually did. So for that reason, I'm not gonna try that team. But potentially it can probably do really well against the Wind team. It will depend on how much damage they can take, basically. Okay, so clearly the movements here don't work. I have to think of a different way to make the team, I guess. So this is the problem when I didn't, because I didn't take a look at the map in advance, I don't actually know how the map is supposed to work. But with that said, doesn't change the fact that we want to see how much damage Dario can sustain. Vivi coming in with the limit burst, this is gonna be pretty fun to watch. 2 stuns. What the heck? That's an insane reflex. Okay, so this is pretty much done here. Wow. That was actually pretty decent damage. So I think the idea of the barrier break nullify is not so much to protect Dario, but rather is for protecting Glassala. Wouldn't you guys agree? So I guess that's the idea behind Dario's barrier break nullify. Pope Jules says make him fight A2 or a physical team is the real crash test. Yep, you make a very good point. So we'll start with, I guess, A2 first, because I do have such a team loaded up on my what do you call it, my offense team templates, and I know exactly what I need to do to tweak this for this map. Pretty straightforward, because the movement should be exactly the same as the previous map, more or less. Now the only thing is, do I need to adjust the passive? I will leave it in here for now. You know what? I'm gonna change it to the defense penetration thing, because I do want to see more damage from A2. So I'm gonna use the defense penetration up passive on her, and then I think this is good to go. Alright, we're gonna jump into the guild battle menu now and select targets, and once that is ready I will change the screen so that you guys can see the team. Manny says, Odaima, off-topic question, did the past FF7 remake collab happen in World of Visions JP the same month when the game was released? I don't remember. I don't think it was the same month, because the FF7 remake collab is definitely not in the same month. So I want to show you guys this. This is another I guess this is more experimental than anything, but potentially we can do something like this. Maybe? But I feel like in this case Vivi would probably be a better fit over here, right? Instead of Helena. Like, I don't really understand what is the point of having Helena here other than Helena being OP AF, that is. I feel like Vivi may actually be stronger here, but you know what? I'm gonna let the man cook, and then maybe I can learn something from him later down the line. For now, we're gonna head back into the mock battle against the win team that my guildmate has built. Let's see here. Alright. Off we go. So I think it's probably a pretty standard build for this team now, because by now, for those of you in global, you probably, if you pull for A2, probably by now you have had a chance to play around with this team. And I believe the movements are always more or less the same with this exact team. The only decisions you need to make are if you want to sacrifice A2's barrier for using a TMR. And I think that's about it, because other than that, this team is pretty straightforward, if I'm not wrong. Kitty Law says 100 cost Dario equals Winter Wrath, Addison Ray, Young Helena, Summer Jaden. In terms of the LB perspective, but he also has what do you mean by that? I don't understand. Oh, 100 cost Dario is more than Winter Wrath, Addison Ray, Young Helena, and Summer Jaden. Okay, that makes sense. You know what I wanna see? I wanna see Dario get his limit burst off and make someone go berserk. I wanna see that happen. Let's see here. L1 Lilith earlier said, just switch Elena to Bratz. It's not that simple. You have to, the movements have to be different as well. And I do have that team made. I just don't want to, don't want to actually bring it out because I have to make adjustments to it if I were to do so. Syed says, Lightning Team. Yep, we're going to do Lightning Team right after this. And of course, Elion Strive mentioned an A2 Ice Team. This is what we are currently going with right now. Manny says, it's no secret. We know it's Sylvie-like team. Huh? What are you talking about? Kitty Law asks, how is 100 cost Lucio? I think he's good. I think he's pretty decent. But he's more of a support DPS than anything else. He's not really a carry on the team. He's more like Helena's bitch, if that makes any sense. Like, you almost never run Lucio on his own in some other team. You always run Lucio with Helena. So Lucio is pretty much Helena's bitch. Stray Light says, at Elion Strive, don't jinx it please, I'm sick with Earth Team already. Alright, so off we go. Okay, so this is the movement I remember. And in this version, A2 is using her barrier on turn 2. Wait, is that supposed to happen? I think usually Howlet actually gives the HP absorb to Summer Glassula. I'm not sure how this will affect things now. Okay, Haze coming in. I think maybe I need to flip A2 and Howlet so that Summer Glassy gets the HP drain effect. Because she's pretty much running out of HP now. Whoa. Look at that! Howlet is actually doing more damage than A2, which is kind of funny. Oh, this is the moment I've been waiting for. Wait, what? Nobody went berserk. I guess the activation rate must be really low, huh? Wait a minute, what's going on here? What's going on here is a 1v3. Oh crap! Holy cow, Dario can use the heal on himself! What the heck? A2 can't even do that. I guess it's the way that the skill is worded. For A2 skill, you need to select A2 herself and one other ally, but as for Dario, they made so that he just has to select one ally, which can be himself. That was actually pretty good, huh? I think that actually went really well. If not for the elemental disadvantage, and if not for A2's awesomeness, I think the win team could have won. So that definitely makes me quite excited about the next team the next team that I'm gonna test, which is of course Lightning. Once again, I'm gonna, take some requests. Any other teams you guys would like to see, get run up against by the Dario team. We're gonna do Lightning next, but whatever you guys say, whatever you guys suggest, I'll pick something, and after the Lightning team, we'll take a look at that team. Sushi WOTV asks, how did Veritas one-shot the Howlet? Right? I do need to check something real quick. Because Veritas right now in JP can be set to level 140 already. So I wonder if that Veritas has actually been, reincarnated by a lot. There's a limit to how much you can reincarnate Veritas right now. There you go, at level 140. There is a limit to how far you can reincarnate, but it's still pretty high, I think. $180.50. So I'm gonna check something real quick. I will have to set the screen to BRB. So 18,000 HP is what this Dario has, as opposed to the normal amount is 14,000 HP. So definitely that Dario is heavily reincarnated. And I'm gonna guess Glassula is also max reincarnated. So the only one I'm not sure is if Veritas is also max reincarnated. By the way, Veritas right now, you only reincarnate him about, I think, 20 times. Not too sure about that, because they didn't give you enough Mind Spears. So just keep in mind that whatever you're, the footage that you're about to watch is pretty much against a max reincarnated Dario. So if it wasn't max reincarnated, probably the results, there will be some kind of difference. Just keep that in mind as you're watching this. Pope Jules says Volk will be a fire spear unit. Yep, indeed he will. Strelak says in the future, SS Dario plus Wet Glassula plus Volk. I don't know about that. It kind of sounds real iffy. Not too sure about that. Kokintat says water or fire. I guess we can try fire. I don't have a good water team. I only have like a single water team, and that is a makeshift water team that has Summer Glassula, Faris, and Perrine, which I know is not really like the best combo out there, but it's like the best water units I have. But hey, in a few weeks, I will have Shadow Links max, probably. And then after that, if I get lucky with Young Erde, then who knows, in the future, I can probably do some water team tasks against the new units. But for now, we're kind of stuck with not that great of a water team. Kitty Law says full strike team with Bridal Alliance. Yes, I do have that. The Perrine version anyway, which probably is the superior version, as long as you're not fighting lightning. Because my Ketone is not at 140 yet, so I'll be using Perrine, which is usually the better pick. Okay, so not too sure if I needed to tune my lightning team, but looking at how things are going, I would say I probably didn't really need to make any tweaks. This should be fine on its own. There we go. Alright. Now taking bets. Is anyone gonna go berserk? There we go. Astrius goes berserk. for 3 turns. I guess Berserk has to go on to all of our Trust Stones now in JP. Whoa! What the heck? What the heck just happened? What happened? Okay, so Win team is now goated. Between Win Veritas getting level 140 and Dario, Win team is now goated. Also, I need to check the map effect for this guild battle map. I believe the adjustments, or rather the map effects this time around, are not that crazy, but we need to be aware of that. Alright, let's see here. Win elemental unit HP up. And then main job, if the main job uses a katana, you get ATK and MAG up. Okay, so that is insane. So you're telling me the only thing the Win team is getting here is HP up, and they're able to destroy Lightning team so ruthlessly. This has got to be good, right? So next up we're gonna load up the Earth team. I have it saved here already, so it's not an issue at all. Although obviously 2P being Earth is a bit of a type disadvantage, but shouldn't be too bad. And then after that we're gonna try fire, because I have 2 fire teams pretty much loaded up that I can just throw in anyway. So so far, if you guys are keeping track, the only team that has managed to beat Dario Win, Max Reincarnated Dario Win, is the A2 team so far. Okay, I got my 5th team ready. Let me think about if I need to... yeah, I definitely need to make some adjustments. Change 2P to B on the right hand side, where she can get the re-raise removal. So somebody said earlier about how they wish Dario had re-raise removal, right? But I kind of feel like he doesn't really need it, does he? In fact, depending on the situation, if you know you're gonna face an enemy with re-raise removal, I think it's even okay to turn off the re-raise buff and use something else instead. Okay, so we're entering into the guild battle screen. So, for those of you who are not, who don't understand why I go to the BRB screen so much, is because obviously, you know, going to the guild battle screen means I have to show like all of the builds and everything, including player names and everything, and that's not really something that I should be doing because of, you know, privacy and stuff like that, especially in JP. So the builds are okay to show because they are day 1 builds, but player names and, you know, personal information, not that great to show. So that's the reason, in case you're wondering. Alright, so we have loaded things up. Let's see here. There we go. Strike versus win. Now place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Which side will prevail? So I think we're gonna do maybe 1 or 2 or 3 more mock battles, and then I think I'm gonna call it a night, because I actually haven't finished setting up my global version guild battle stuff. So gonna be in a bit of a trouble if I start too late. And I know we had like what, 5 days to do it, but you know, things got in the way. Anyways, Pope Jules says, I wonder what Soul can do versus Dario now. Well, For starters, Soul can break Dario's barrier. Remember? Like, that's like one of the main things Soul is good for. Breaking magic barriers. And I think the fire team may actually be in a good place versus Wind. So we'll see about that in just a bit. Kitty Law says 2P is gonna get stabbed so easily. Yeah, I know, right? And the thing is with, especially if you're running 2P and striking, you don't really care about evade that much. So Wind is not going to have any problems taking down 2P at all. Syed says strike lose 0-3. I definitely hear you. It's a very likely scenario, but at the same time, I wish you would give our girl Alaya. No, I wish you would give our girl Perrine a little more credit, because she, maybe she can surprise you. I think Perrine is gonna take at least one unit down, hopefully. And the thing is, the Wind team doesn't really have that much strike resistance, right? I'm guessing. Okay, so I needed to change Alaya to a different move. But maybe it'll work out fine over here. By right, I think Alaya should have been moved 3. Or maybe not. This is good enough too. Oh no. Wait, did she have Berserk Resist? Wow, look at that damage! And for some reason, Glassella didn't want to attack Alaya. Oh, because of the hate down. Okay. There we go. There we go. That's my girl right there. Perrine best waifu. You heard it. You heard it here first. Oh. 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 That's my jam. Perrine best waifu. You guys need to vote for Perrine now in the character popularity poll, because that's the law. Manny says, how does your main Earth team fare against A2 / Glassy teams? Which Glassy? Oh, A2. It depends, I think. Sometimes it wins, sometimes it loses. It depends on who my opponent is, actually, to be honest. Because you can, it's like I think it's like an almost 50-50 matchup. I'm not too sure, actually, because it's been a while since I took my Earth team to fight a A2 Glassy team, but I seem to recall, it seems you should be able to beat it, but it's not that consistent. And also, it depends on the map, but on the previous Guild Battle map, I don't recall having any problems with it. In fact, I think I was mocking just yesterday, and the reason I ran my Earth team today in Guild Battle was because it always beats A2 Summer Glassy and Howlet. Oh no, A2 Summer, no, one of the other A2 teams, I don't remember which one. But yeah, you can definitely beat it. Alright, so I think the next one is probably gonna be the final mock battle that I'm gonna showcase for the stream tonight, because it's almost 2 hours it's almost 2 hours since I started the stream, and I really need to go and settle my guild battle in global before it's too late. So we're gonna close it out with a bang. Let me find my kick-ass fire build. You guys want to see fire evade, or fire evade probably dies, right? So I guess we go fire rain. I mean soul plus rain. Let's see here. Xiaoze on the left hand side. Yep, I think that makes sense. Okay, this is good to go. I think Hawking Dad says, imagine they bring Sarma Perrine. They say, yeah, hell yeah. Gonna pull her right away, regardless of how good her actual unit performance is. 100%. Straylight says, yay, Perrine back to the menu. Indeed. So, you know, the funny thing is Perrine has always been really strong, and the only reason she was not strong was because of Alaya and Lightning, right? So now that Alaya and Lightning are not, you know, too overwhelming, like they're not all over the place, it becomes safe to run Perrine again. Crap, where is the win team? Couldn't find it now. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Alright, so this is the fire team I've loaded up, and so this is really going to be one that is quite interesting to watch, because technically Soul can eat through the magic HP barrier in a single hit, and I think Fire will lose here because of the insane amount of damage that Veritas of the Wind and Glassula can dish out. But with that said, yeah, so I think the main thing is, if you think about it, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Because in a weird way, Dario, Glassula, and Veritas of the Wind kind of reminds me of like a physical version of Rafu, Helena, and Vivi, if you think about it, because both teams rely heavily on AoE attacks, and both teams have like a superb tank that's really good at you know, tanking damage of the kind, you know, like with Rafu, she's good with tanking physical. With Dario, he's pretty good at tanking magic, and of course he can tank some of the physical hits as well. And of course, barrier sealing, protecting Glassula. Does Veritas of the Wind have a barrier? I don't remember. I think he has, right? So basically, Dario's barrier break nullify move is really great, in particular for this team. Oh, and see, Kirito says, don't forget, you have to remember there's also the guild battle map effect. But the guild battle map effect for the wind element is only HP up. Like how much HP, like you look at the results, you look at what's happening on screen, HP up does not explain what's happening on screen. So I don't really feel like the guild battle map effect actually has too much of a contribution here. Oh, did you see that? Dario went berserk. So the fire team may actually stand a chance here. So breaking the magic HP barrier very quickly. Wow. The fire team is barely taking any damage. That's kind of interesting. Okay, just as I say that, Chelsea goes down for the count. But, you know what? We still have a secondary healer with Soul over here, so I think Fire seems to be taking it. And with that, we have kind of formed like a triangular relationship between Wind and Black Mage and Fire here, because Fire here generally loses to Black Mage, and then Black Mage loses to Wind, and then Wind loses to Fire. So game is balanced, you guys. Game is now finally balanced. So yeah, because Wind, even a max reincarnated Dario Wind team can lose to Fire and a few other matchups that are popular in the meta. Kind of feel like Wind teams will not be that popular in the end, but it's still going to be a pretty good option. And ultimately, I really look forward to you know, what else we can do with Dario, you know, as a magic tank in other teams. So with that, I guess I'm going to close off the stream for tonight. Thank you guys for, you know, hanging out with me and watching the matches and checking out, you know, all of the stuff with Dario. If you enjoyed the stream, please, if you could, leave a like, maybe a comment, or subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I guess I'll see you guys next time in a, you know, either, wait, tomorrow I'm not streaming, I think. So tomorrow I'll be pulling for 2P, obviously, but I haven't decided if I actually want to stream because I don't feel like there's anything interesting I could show, so I'm probably not gonna stream. So the next time I'm gonna see you guys will probably through another video sometime down the line. I'm not sure when I'm gonna make it, you know, but I'll do it when I get to it. But yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. Hope you guys have had as much fun, you know, watching these matches and, you know, checking out Dario as I have had. And once I get a better idea of what to do with Dario, I'll be sure to let you guys know in some shape or form. So yep, that's all for tonight. Thanks again for stopping by.